All right, let's get into it. We always hear that life is made of cells, right? But what does that actually mean? Well, today we're going to shrink down and take a tour of the tiny, incredible universe that's happening inside every living thing, including you.
So this is our fourth part in a big introductory series on biology, all based on material from Virtualization Options LLC. And today, our whole focus is on what's going on inside one of those cells.
And that really brings us to the main event. What are we actually made of? Seriously, if you could shrink yourself down, like way down, and step inside one of your own cells, what would you even see?
Well, I can tell you what you wouldn't see. You wouldn't find some empty bag of goo. Nope, you'd find yourself in a place with more structure and non-stop action than New York City. Every cell is jam-packed with these specialized little structures called organelles, and each one has a super important job to do. So let's start our tour, shall we?
Our very first stop has to be the most important district in the whole city, the control center that runs the entire show.
We're talking about the nucleus. In complex cells like ours, its whole purpose is to house and protect the cell's most precious cargo, its DNA, and from there, to basically manage everything that happens. If we're thinking of the cell as a city, then the nucleus is absolutely City Hall. It's got the master blueprints for the entire operation. That's the DNA. And from this one central spot, all the orders get sent out, telling the cell when to grow, what to build, how to repair itself. Everything. It's Command Central.
Okay, so City Hall has the plans, but who's going to power this city and actually build everything? Let's leave the downtown area and check out the industrial district, where the energy gets made and the construction happens.
First up, let's meet the mitochondria. You've probably heard of these before. They're famously called the powerhouse of the cell, and it is no joke. Their job is to take the food we eat and transform it into a high-energy molecule called ATP, which is basically the universal energy currency for the cell. So yeah, these are the city's power plants, and they are working around the clock, 24/7, turning fuel into the juice that runs literally everything in your body. Every heartbeat, every blank, every single thought you're having right now. It's all being paid for with energy made by these tiny powerhouses. Now that the city has power, we need builders. And for that, we have the ribosomes. These things are super tiny, and you find them in all kinds of cells. They have one job and one job only: to build proteins by following the instructions sent over from the nucleus. Think of these as the construction crews of our cell city. They get the blueprints from City Hall, and they just get to work building all the different proteins the cell needs to function and grow. They might be the smallest workers in the city, but there are more of them than anyone else. They are everywhere, just constantly building. Okay, next up on our tour, we're heading to the city limits to meet the official gatekeepers. And after that, we'll take a look at a really unique structure that you'll only find in very specific kinds of cities. Every city needs a border, right? For the cell, that's the cell membrane. And what's so cool about it is that it's not some stiff wall. It's this flexible, active boundary with the incredibly important job of controlling what comes in and what goes out. So this thing acts like the city's border control. It's super selective. It lets in the good stuff like food and water, but it keeps the bad stuff out. This gatekeeper job is absolutely critical for keeping everything inside the cell stable and safe. Now, about that special structure I mentioned. Before we go any further, I have to make something crystal clear. Our next stop, the chloroplast, is not in your cells. It's not in any animal cells. This is an exclusive feature of plant cells. So, meet the chloroplasts. These are the organelles that let plants do something that is, frankly, magical. They can basically eat sunlight. They capture light energy and use it to power a process called photosynthesis, which lets them make their own food out of just sunlight, water, and air. You can think of these as the city's solar power farms. They generate all the food a plant needs to survive. Oh, and by the way, they're also the reason plants are green. But bigger than that, this one process is pretty much the foundation for almost all life on our entire planet. No big deal, right? Whew, okay. So we've been to City Hall, the power plants, the construction sites, and border control. Let's step back for a second and see how this whole amazing city actually works together as one interconnected system. Here's a quick little map of our tour. Just to recap, we have the nucleus, which is City Hall, calling all the shots. The mitochondria are power plants, keeping the lights on. The ribosomes are the construction crews, building everything we need.
The cell membrane acts as border control, keeping us safe. And for plants, the chloroplasts are the solar farms, making food from sunlight. See how each part has a very specific role? But none of them can do it alone. They have to work together.
You know, the source material puts it perfectly. Peer inside any cell and you'll find a remarkable degree of organization. This isn't just a jumble of parts floating around. It's a sophisticated, highly coordinated system that's been fine-tuned over billions of years.
And that just leaves us with one last mind-blowing thought to chew on. If just one of these tiny, microscopic cities is this complex, this organized, what does it even mean that there are trillions of them? Trillions, all working together in perfect harmony right now to make up the living, breathing, thinking person that is you. It's incredible, and it's happening inside you this very second. Thanks for coming along on the tour.